this is Charlie from Adventures with Charlie, and last Saturday I went to the cinemas to see the film that I will be reviewing today, The Addams Family 2. Wednesday is starting to grow apart from the Addams family, feeling that she's completely different. Knowing that their kids are growing up so fast, Gomez decides it's time to take the Addams on a family road trip around the country in an old Addams camper. However, they have to be careful as there's a lawyer behind them who believes that Wednesday might not actually be a real Addams. So I really liked the 2019 Addams Family. I really enjoyed it. It was a lot of fun. And it did have a weak story that held it back, but it did have some great humour, nice animation, and very likeable characters, bringing the Addams to life in animation that was really well done in my opinion. So I was really excited to see the sequel called when it was announced. And I really enjoyed it. I'd say it's on par with the original, So let's get into the characters. So you'll find a likeable charm with these guys. And that's a good thing because these characters do know how to keep that charm alive. And they have a strong they managed to offer nice small roles over the family of how they come together in the film. Gomez is the father who feels the roadtrip will bring the Addams closer than ever. But Pugsley is on the hunt to find himself a girlfriend, and Uncle Fester is slowly starting to turn into an octopus. Morticia is the other who starts worrying if Wednesday really isn't Addams, which I'll talk about in a minute. And Arch is the big bodyguard that would protect Wednesday on her adventure. Speaking of Wednesday, she's the main Addams of the film, and where it goes deep into her character, where she might not be an Addams after all. Not only does this bring the film's heart in, but you can actually feel sorry for Wednesday throughout the film, wondering where she actually does belong. As for the new characters, there's the lawyer who's always on the Addams' tail, which makes the Addams go from state to state, and Dr. Cyrus Strange, who has a key interest in Wednesday. I won't go further about him for spoiler reasons, but once you know why, you'll know exactly what type of character he is. Now let's get on to the story. Well, we've got some good news and some bad news with this story. The good news is how it's able to hold two stories at once. Another part of the good news is how one of them is done very well, which is Wednesday's story, where the family worries about her if she is an Addams or not. Like I said before, this really brings the heart of the film into play, which gives the film a heart to it. That makes it engaging with the relationship of Wednesday and her family. The bad news is, while that story is done fine, it's the road trip story itself that's trying to be the main narrative that's a problem. A big problem with that story is how it feels easily predictable. As they go from state to state, age just so they fill in a checklist of everywhere you'd go on a road trip movie, like the Grand Canyon, Niagara Falls, or a beach in Miami, and so much more. Or, sure, these sets look nice, and I'll get more into that in a minute, but it just feels like they were going to make sure that they complete a checklist of everywhere you'd go on a vacation film. On the other hand, one thing that I'd say was the film's strongest aspect was its humour, and that continues here. I don't know about you, but I laughed at every joke in this film. Not only were they funny and entertaining, but also they brightened the mood up for the movie. Especially with one scene if that actor's so funny, I dare not ruin it. Let's just say I felt like I was laughing for 20 minutes. And then there's the movie's animation, which is not what I've seen. It is like the most controversial part of the film. Some people love the animation for going for a cartoony style, while others aren't really a huge fan of it, as it brings the Addams to in a way that's not really their strongest look. Don't get me wrong, I see where both sides are going. Especially where some characters like Morticia and Wednesday, they feel very thin with their designs. Like one bended and they're cracked. That's open. But I can also see how it can be creative as they do different sizes. This like nice and chubby with Pugsley, they all big and tall with characters like Large, Festa, Durant and Gomez. As for the character animation, they really do take advantage of the Addams and their movements, where Morticia usually walks like a spider, crawling around, and how Wednesday has slower movements, but it's all lapped with his big feet. As for the backgrounds, I'll say that each of them do look nice, and really capture to where you'd go on a road trip. It looked the grand waterfall beauty of Niagara Falls, to the dark woods where you'd camp out in Sleepy Hollow, to the lovely big beach in Miami, to a pageant in the middle of a little town, and to the big scale of the Grand Canyon, or even a bar which has a piano in Death Valley. However, there is a catch to these. Since the film really wants to complete this checklist, we don't really stay in those places for too long. And that's very disappointing because they had potential to really show. However, that doesn't really ruin the visuals that much. So overall, I'd say that this is one of those sequels that are on par with their first ones, and especially in a good way like this. The Addams Family 2, it brings the Addams back in a good animated feature that's a lot of fun, creepy, kooky, and yes, mysterious, spooky, and altogether ooky. It may have a weak road trip story, but with some great heart, charming characters, and some nice animation, on top of some fun humour. But it's one of those sequels that knows how to be as good as its original. I would highly recommend this to fans of the 2019 film, but even those who are into everything Addams Family, you'll most likely have a really good time with this one. I wouldn't say it's the best thing to come out of the family, but then And it is nice we get to have another road trip film in a time like this, which is why I'm giving the film an 8 out of 10. Far from the best thing out there, but on its own, it is a strong sequel. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Feel free to comment, like and subscribe. And I'm sorry for this video not being too long. I don't know why. I had a lot to say about this one. Oh well, I must have gone too quick with it all. Or I must have not had as much as I thought. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Feel free to comment, like and subscribe. And I will see you next time. Bye!